This is The Download from Sounds Profitable, your daily source for the essential news in the business of podcasting. I'm Gavin Gaddis. Here's what you need to know for today, Monday, May 4th, which may or may not be with you depending on your fandom allegiances. First up, industry on generative AI podcast content. In last Thursday's issue of Soundbite, Ashley Carman examines how generative AI podcasts, colloquially dubbed Podslop, are distributed across the podcast ecosystem. One hosting platform with safeguards in place is RSS.com, which does not allow freely hosted podcasts to opt into programmatic ads. To qualify, a podcast must have a paid subscription and at least 10 listeners in the past 30 days. Co-founder Alberto Batella tells Bloomberg RSS.com truly cares about podcasting and real podcasters. Quote, if we miss something, it's a scale problem, not a policy one. End quote. Batella discusses AI slop content further in Pod News Weekly Review last week. Spotify has rolled out verified by Spotify badges to mark artist profiles as verified humans throughout the platform with automated detection and human review on accounts. Profiles with the badge have internal markers indicating they fit activity and engagement profiles, as well as signals indicating they aren't AI. On the other side of AI podcasting, Pod News reports both Buzzsprout and Transistor saw significant portions of their April downloads come from web browsers, which is largely attributed to AI scrapers that appear to be web browsers to analytics. Next up, the HLS Podcast Radar. John Spurlock has rolled out a list of video podcast episodes that use the alternate enclosure HLS tag, which enables both video and audio to be distributed in the same RSS feed. According to Pod News reporting, the alternate enclosure tag is not yet supported by Apple Podcasts, but is supported by Transistor, Fountain, Disktopia, RSS.com, Flightcast, and PeerTube. Apps like Fountain, Podcast Guru, Podcast Addict, and TrueFan support playback of alternate enclosure tagged feeds. Meanwhile, in the world of HLS podcasting, Buzzsprout has announced this morning that its video distribution of Apple Podcast Video is out of beta and available to all users. Uploading a video to Buzzsprout automatically sends it to Apple Podcasts while distributing the audio across all other platforms. Next up, digital audio saw fastest growth rate in consumer spending last year. Inside Audio Marketing reports PQ Media data on audio's 2025 growth. Consumers spent a total of $2.4 trillion on media content and technology last year. The vertical with the least spending was radio. Satellite radio and streaming music subscriptions clocked in at $33.8 billion worldwide, boosted by device sales, which would include automotive receivers and in-home audio equipment. Audio ranks last in spending, with podcasts and ad-free music streaming acting as boosts, performing well in the overall category. And for a final top story, how creator businesses stack up. Scalable looks at the state of businesses run by content creators, such as Beast Industries, founded by Jimmy Mr. Beast Donaldson. Beast Industries now has over 750 employees, putting it in the less than 1% of companies with over 500 employees in the United States, according to U.S. Census Bureau data. Creator-led companies span the country: Dude Perfect in Texas, Beast Industries in North Carolina, AudioChuck in Indianapolis, and Complexly in Montana. California remains the core state for creator companies, home to Crunch Labs, Unwell, Mythical Entertainment, and Darman Studios. As for the rest of the news, Ad Results Media has a new blog covering lessons learned at Possible Miami 2026 about the future of audio advertising. Triton Digital has published its March 2026 Canada Podcast Ranker. Livewire Labs has a new edition of top podcast hosting companies by episode share, this time looking at April 2026, tracking around 1.9 million individual podcast episodes. Super Awesome has partnered with Tinkercast to become the Wow in the World producers' exclusive advertising seller, and Podcraft by Alitu has a new episode today featuring Sounds Profitable partner Tom Webster discussing data from the recent Audio Prime study, including how independent creators can work to reach valuable Audio Prime listeners. That'll do it for today's episode of The Download. As a reminder, every link I just talked about can be found at the one link in your show notes. That takes you to today's episode post on soundsprofitable.com, where you can also subscribe to get the newsletter version of the show sent directly to you every day. Today's issue was produced and written by myself, Brian Barletta, Tom Webster, and Molly Demillier. For Sounds Profitable, I'm Gavin Gaddis, and I'll see you tomorrow.